Hello, good afternoon. Welcome.
Hi. Hello, and
Hello, Olga. Madana, Rihanna, and Vesna.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
nice
Hello,
to see
Olga.
you.
Hello,
Hello, Alexander.
Aaron.
Today is Luxoff Day, right, on the webinar?
So you all know the rules. While we are waiting, please take a look at our screen and let us know from where are you joining. What time is it for you? And on scale from 1 to 5, how confident you are with AI?
We have a message from Sinan. Hello, I'm on the road and can't speak, but I will listen carefully. Thank you.
You can put the answers into the chat. From where are you joining? What time is it? And how confident are you with AI? On a scale from 1 to 5. 1 means, what is AI? 5 means you are a robot.
Me personally, I think I'm still on between 2 and 3. So I understand what that is. I can use it for my personal questions, but I'm not able still to create an application using AI.
You want to generate an application, okay?
Yeah, it would be nice to know how to do that, you know.
Olga, do you have a plan to generate application, upload it in Apple Market and start passive income? Yeah.
I didn't think about that, but now there is an idea. We have people also from Ukraine. 3, 2. This is about confidence from the UK. Okay.
Yeah. Hello, Kay. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Ivan.
Yeah.
Good afternoon.
Great. We have Madana from India. Madana, what is time for you? In which region are you?
It will be very late, yeah?
Like 9 p.m. or something?
It's 8:40 p.m.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining.
Stuttgart. Okay. 8:40. Thank you, colleagues. Welcome to today's webinar. Yeah, we have AI usage in the SPICE assessments. Yeah, and before we start, I would like to ask you to follow some rules. So you have the option to unmute yourself, but please stay muted during the webinar until our Q&A session starts. If you decide to unmute yourself for the Q&A session, be advised that this session is being recorded. We will have a Q&A session in the end, and there we will be happy to answer all your questions. Also, during our webinar, you can put the question into the chat as well. We will collect them and then also answer in the Q&A session. For the Q&A session itself, please raise your hand and we will call you, so then you can ask your question. Some small rules. Thank you very much. And today our speakers will start with a short recap overview of different AI use cases along the Wien model. Yeah, we have a previous session about that, so a short recap. Then we will take a closer look at how AI can support ASPICE assessments. After that, Olena will share some insights of current use of AI in automotive projects. And I believe this time we will have enough time. So Ron and Olena will run a live experiment. This should be fun. We will then move to our Q&A session and finally briefly introduce the topic of our next webinar. So let's start. First of all, short introduction. My name is Olga. I've been with the automotive industry for over 5 years, working primarily as a certified Scrum Master and Configuration Manager. In addition to my Scrum Master's responsibilities, I've also actively contributed to several ASPICE assessments, especially for the SAP 8 process, where I played a key role in achieving ASPICE Level 2 certification. So I'm very excited to have this great discussion today. And our guest is Olena, an automotive software professional whose career has evolved through several key roles. Her journey through engineering, leadership, product ownership, project management allows her to bridge technical and organizational perspectives, making her contributions to ASPICE discussions deeply practical and experience-based. We are happy to have you here.
Yeah. Thank you, Olga. I'm happy to be there with you guys.
And of course, Ronald Melster, or simply Ron, in the automotive world is a principal ASPICE Assessor and VDA 6.3 auditor who builds the bridge between development and production. With a background in computer science from Berlin and Edinburgh, he moved early from pure coding to software engineering processes, requirements, modular architectures, and process optimization. Since the early 2000s, he has worked in the automotive industry and as one of Europe's longest service ASPICE Assessors since 2005. He focuses on assessments that empower teams and explain the why behind processes. He has supported organizations like Bosch, Carmack, Nippon Seiki, Audio, Porsche, and HERE, and led a Bosch development division with 7,000 engineers worldwide to ASPICE Capability Level 3. This is fantastic. And as the author of already 3 hands-on ASPICE books, Ron acts not just as an assessor, but as a mentor, a coach, sparring partner who helps teams not only comply with ASPICE, but truly embrace it.
Thank you very much for the warm welcome and the warm words. Yes, as promised, this is the second of 2 webinars on artificial intelligence in the development in general. And last time we went through the V model and we discovered 2 main group of use cases. One is generating something. You can generate software requirements based on the system requirements. You can generate test cases, architecture, or even source code. And the second big group of use cases is checking, reviewing, or verification. And in this case, we have existing artifacts, we have software requirements and system requirements which are produced by humans, and then you ask the AI to check mainly for consistency, because checking for consistency means that you have to compare all of the system requirements with all of the software requirements one by one, which is very tiring, and you can make mistakes as a human. So we will ask AI to do this and to find out what we call smells. Something is maybe inconsistent. And by this, we greatly reduce the number of pairs of requirements which needs to be compared by a human. But the final decision, is it really inconsistent, or maybe it's consistent, but it was a false positives by the AI, is by a human. And if you want the recording of the last webinar, just drop me a note on LinkedIn, or the easier way is you subscribe to the newsletter for Automotive SPICE and related topics like safety, security, which I publish every 2 weeks or 3 weeks. And if you are a subscriber, you get access to all the webinar recordings which we started back in 2024. And here's the URL, and you can scan the QR code and just subscribe to the newsletter. And maybe you have seen the poll on LinkedIn where I asked, okay, what shall be the next topic for the case study? Case studies are small booklets, so to say. We did one for ASPICE Live, small teams, which will be published next week, together with Sohail Dar. He is a very experienced project manager at Volkswagen Infotainment. So I asked the community, what shall be the next topic for the case study? I think I proposed 3 topics. One is the lost processes, which are never assessed. SYS1 requirements elicitation, SPL2 product release, and the third one, ASQ4, which is assessed, but because it's in the VDA scope, but it's not part of my first book. So I would write a book about these 3 processes. The second topic was AI use cases along the development. And third one, I forget. So, and there's a clear trend towards the AI case study. So I will write a book about the use cases for AI in the development and related topics. So now we go to the topic which we did not cover last time. How can AI support during assessments? And there are, again, 2 perspectives. The one is to support the team which is being assessed by an assessor like me. And here I distinguish between 2 phases, before the assessment and during the assessment. And the first use case I see is to have some kind of assessment simulation for preparation. So the AI will ask questions. These questions can be based on question catalog, which I compiled, which is available, and then the team can answer these questions, upload documents, etc., and the AI will ask more specific questions and give feedback to the documents and the answers. So the AI will guide the team through the assessment. And one example which we identified in the preparation meeting today is NotebookLM. Maybe Olena can share a little bit about this.
Yep. In general, these AI tools that can support us with assessment simulation, we don't have something like that right now. ChatGPT or Copilot is not capable to do it on quite a good level. So either we implement some tool internally as an organization, or we can try to use different available open source tools. One of them that I would like to share is NotebookLM. It is Google tool. It is free for usage. You create your notebook, you upload your documents there. You can upload, for example, a SPICE Gold book, Ron's books for smaller teams, questionnaires. You can upload some project documentation if you need. And the most amazing thing in this tool is that if you do it in English, you can generate a podcast, and tool will generate a podcast where two people, male and female, will discuss the topics of your materials. And the most fantastic thing to me is that you can interrupt them and tell as a human, hello, I would like to ask you something about, I don't know, sub 8 process. What do you think about this and this? And they would reply you. They adjust their podcast and interact with you like real human. And this is the most fantastic thing about that notebook. We, as a human, we consume information in a different way, and for different people it is a different way of learning. Someone prefers to write something, someone needs to discuss something, with real human. Someone prefer reading, but for those who likes to discuss, to negotiate, to ask detailed questions, this tool can be an amazing support. Okay, I believe this is it for NotebookLM. Try it, and I believe you will love it, as I am.
How do you know we are real? We are not a podcast. Okay, just joking, but we will get to the point somewhere in the future where you have webinars which are not real humans. Okay, let's move on. During the assessment, AI can support the assess team as well in the background by analyzing the questions coming from the assessor and then give hints towards documents, chapters, so that you don't need to look up the exact chapter, and then you can show the chapter or the document to the assessor. Under one assumption, either you are very fast at writing down the question coming from the assessor, or you transcribe the question coming from the assessor and then feed it into the AI, which is a little bit more complicated, but it's technically it's possible. And one thing we discussed earlier is the challenge between the ASPICE language. We have a strategy and we have traces, etc. And to the internal wording within the organization or project, and AI can help to translate this as well, because the assessor will always start with the ASPICE language. And this example of using Copilot was from you as well, Olena, right?
Yeah. So some organizations use some partnership tools, for example, company has partnership with Google or with Microsoft, and they use their AI-based tool, Copilot, Gemini, whatever else. And they build such an application, internal AI bot that has all the documentations of the organization. And then you can ask your AI any question, and it will provide you an answer based on your documentation that you provided to the tool. So one of the ideas can be that during the assessment, we can have an instance of such a bot, which will have documents from your projects, like your project plans, your templates, your other configuration items. And right during the assessment, with the help of AI, you translate the question from assessor from a SPICE language, and AI will search through the documents and support you to understand which document you should show. For example, assessor asking me, please show me your branching strategy. And maybe you name this in your project in a different way, maybe not branching strategy, something else. And the AI tool will find you that place and say, okay, this should be in this file. So right now, such tools already exist in some organization, which can guide you through all the project documentation, Confluence, or other database of documents. Maybe it is not tuned for AI, but you can consider it as a potential internal pilot or something like that and train this particular model for AI usage for such questions. Ron, but here I have a question to you. If I come to the assessment and say to assessor, hey, I would like to transcribe our meeting with Notebook AI. I would like to record our voice meeting, for example, and use this recording and we'll chat online. I will chat with my AI model and ask for some support. What would be your reaction? You understand what I mean, right?
Yeah,
Because
sure.
when we start assessment, we come prepared. We all scared, both sides, nervous, and then someone wants to record something. How it could be interpreted? We need to change the mental model for that.
Yes, we might need to change it. First of all, I appreciate that you ask, not just record. Ask, okay, is it okay? And then you have to cope with the reaction. Maybe the assessor says, no, I don't want this. And I have encountered this. So the organizations ask me, can we record the assessment? So I have done it. I have agreed to it. And of course, they should tell me, okay, what is it used for internal training, for aligning the process landscape, etc. It should not be used to find out, okay, what mistakes does the assessor make? If is he consistent with the guidelines, etc., which could be possible when you transcribe everything the assessor is asking and rating, then you can use it in this way. And this was the first part of the answer. The second part is actually I recommend that the team supports each other in the background anyway. So in this case, the AI becomes a team member in the background, and so it's totally fine to me. Why not? And I was about to say this anyway. Then I can start asking questions regarding the understanding. Has the team understood what is described in the chapter? And I will definitely find out. So it's not just pointing out the chapter about the merging strategy. Okay, can you explain me the merging strategy? Why did you choose this strategy? And finally, how can you show me examples that you have followed this strategy? And then I try to find out inconsistencies. So it's the next step. It's beyond just, okay, this is the chapter and this is the text. Which we will come to on next slide, because the assessor can use AI as well. Let's start with this use case under the assumption that the assessor gets the documents from the organization or project before the assessment. Then he or she can feed the documents to an AI as well and do internal checks. There are certain criteria. Some of them are defined in the standard, in the PAM, the information items. Maybe they are augmented by the assessor, and then you can check, okay, what are the expectations towards this document? For example, is there a branching and merging strategy defined? Yes and no. So he or she will find out. And then the assessor comes to the exact same point. Okay, I have found the chapter. I can understand it. Now let's find out if the team can explain the merging strategy and if the team follows the merging strategy. So it's the other way around. So AI will speed up the assessment, but we will face different challenges. What else can the assessor do? Of course, less experienced assessors can also have a question catalog in background, and they can feed the answers of the team to the AI, and the AI can come up with the next questions, helping the assessor to follow along and not to forget anything. We talked about analyzing documents, and we go to the report first because this is more natural to me. Then the AI can help generating the report, the weaknesses, the overall patterns can be found by the AI. The AI can support the rating because it can have the guidelines, the VDA guidelines in the background, how the base practices are related to each other. If this base practice is rated this, then another base practice cannot be rated higher, something like this. And then the AI can come up with a proposal for rating. And finally, another use case is that the AI can support by generating, it's a generation step again, recommendations how to deal with the weaknesses and the gaps. Because many organizations and projects, they ask me, okay, you have found this weakness, how can we close this gap? And they ask about recommendations, actions, improvement measures, whatever you want to call it. So these are the use cases for AI, and I know that at least one company is working on a tool for this checking of documents. They have started to create these criteria, and the documents which will be fed to this tool can be checked along the criteria.
Yep, I wanted to add a comment on this, that analysis step, it's actually that teams can do as well before the assessment, right? We
Yes.
can feed our documents and get our gaps already and fix them before the assessment. So this is why we need AI. And
cover them up to the assessor.
yeah. And also, if you talk about feedback, usually after each assessment, internal QMS teams, they generate a list of findings and describe them pretty in details. So AI tool can support them if they transcribe during the meeting. And if we have all the evidence and reports, AI can support them in generating high quality backlog of these gaps that needs to be fixed, because from our experience, quality team has also quite a limited time, and they do it like by their memory, from their moms and so on. So it's very important step that can support teams after the assessment as well.
So it's not the assessor in the narrower sense, but the QMS team, which takes this report, that's why it's the
Yes.
previous step, and feed it to the AI. Okay, what do we need to do? And the AI can come up with improvement actions. Okay, we need strategy for merging. We need a concept for traceability. We need to decide for a more efficient tool or whatever. Yeah.
But also based on our discussion during the assessment, AI could generate a good explanation, like, okay, we had a weakness in your plan, you didn't have, I don't know, strategy, yeah? So you need to generate strategy, fill in with this, and this would be acceptance criteria. So it could support significantly reduced time for quality teams.
Okay, so again, you're assuming that you transcribe the interviews which have more context, more information. That's correct. The report is in many cases much lighter. That's correct.
Yep.
Okay, let's move on. Oh, the live demo. Okay, first explain what we want to try to achieve, and then I show you the generated document. So our idea was, okay, we ask AI, in this case, Deutschland GPT. It's not ChatGPT, which is hosted in America. I use Deutschland GPT, but they use the same models, Claude 5.5, 4.5 Sonnet, or GPT 5.1. And the goal is to generate a configuration management plan. We talked about this last time, that it's possible to ask AI to generate process documents for the supporting processes and the management processes. So this is one example. And the context is, I think a software project is easier than a system project. So let's start with the easier context. The model is out of the box. So there's a fresh chat, nothing, no context. And to be fair, I uploaded PAM 4.0 of ASPICE. So this is the only information this model has received. I did this in preparation of this webinar, and I will share the result. And I will show you the prompt as well. So, oh, this one. So as you can see, just a normal browser with Deutschland GPT. I used Claude 4.5 Sonnet. I think ChatGPT 5.1 is available, 5.0 is available. I have good experience with Claude, so you can try it for yourself. And as I mentioned, I uploaded PAM 4.0, and here's the prompt. Can you generate a configuration management plan sub-8 for a software project which needs to be compliant with ASPICE? That's it. And here's the answer. I create a comprehensive configuration management plan that aligns with Automotive SPICE sub-8 requirements. Let me first check the specific requirements for sub-8 in the document. So I checked the PAM, as you can see, which I uploaded. Down here it says on page 81 of the Automotive SPICE Base Practice 5 led to some requirements. And here on the right-hand side is the document which was generated by the artificial intelligence. And as promised, step number 2 is I will try to give feedback to this document and challenge it a little bit. So as usual, there's some formal stuff prepared by, approved by, which on one hand side is very, very boring because it's always the same and it's formal stuff. But in a real assessment, I start to challenge the project sometimes. Who was the approver? When was it approved? What was the precondition of the approval? Was there a review performed, etc.? Which we cannot. Yes, go ahead.
Ron, I'm missing here the reviewers of the document.
Okay, why? Why
Usually,
is it not sufficient?
because approver it's someone at higher level, like a program director or someone like that, who approves to use that version of document. But reviewers could be a project team, manager, integrator, test manager, and so on. And these people need to provide their review for the document.
Could be a precondition of approval, but we don't know. I agree with you. This you could ask, okay, what is the precondition? Was there a review performed before the actual approval? Or if it was only approved by higher management, okay, it's okay. Then on SPICE level 2, it will be a down rating because it needs to be reviewed for based on some criteria. I agree. So yes, this might be an indicator already which you can challenge in the assessment. Okay, so let's have a look at the actual document. Here's the purpose. Okay, nothing is exciting here. References. Okay, they provided PAM 4.0, the ISO 30020, an imaginary project quality plan and a project management plan. Okay, which we don't know. Here's some terms defined, and then it starts with the process purpose of sub 8. It's a copy of coming from the PAM and the process outcomes, which you don't really need in a configuration management plan because you're not defining a process, but you want to live this process. And now the real work starts. Technically, I expect the configuration item selection criteria to answer the question, okay, what needs to be stored in the configuration management system and what can be left outside. And here it came up with all items meeting any of the following criteria shall be placed under configuration management. So far, so good. Deliverables to customer, any work product delivered externally. Okay, makes sense. Baseline components. Okay, what does this mean? Baseline components. Work products included in project baselines. Okay. Safety critical items, security critical items. There might be compliant requirement regarding regulations, reusable components. Okay, yes, of course, you need to store them somewhere. Interface definitions. Okay, so far so good. And then it proposes naming conventions. Okay, that's a keyword which shall be addressed in the configuration management plan. That's for sure. And the category of configuration items of requirements, system requirements, software requirements, and stakeholder requirements. And this is what it proposes as naming conventions. So what are your thoughts on this naming conventions for requirements?
I can imagine already thousands of requirements, and each of them has a version. And whenever you have any change request or review have been done, you need to adjust the version of hundreds of requirements.
Yes.
It tries to kill the team in this.
Yes, effectively and very, it will succeed by this.
Yeah.
Yes, of course, you need to have an idea for the requirement in a modern tool like Polarion, Coding, Jira, yes. What else do we have?
Doors.
Jama, Doors, of course, old school. And which is this number, but we never versioned requirements. Actually, I have a question. Are requirements, single requirements, actually configuration items?
I would rather say baselines of requirements.
Which means that your baseline the requirements document, and
Yeah.
then the requirements document is a configuration item.
Yep. Because some projects have requirements in Excel sheet or Word document or in PDF. It's also a place to store requirements. Yes. We cannot dedicate the singular part of it.
So here's the first mistake from the practice. I would never consider a single requirement a configuration item, rather a requirements document like Excel or Doors. I think they're called documents as well, or Polarion. And these tools provide mechanism to version the documents, so you don't need to have a naming convention including the version. And the same is true for architecture and implementation. Here it says source code files, okay. Libraries.
Version of source code file is a name. Okay, it's
Yes, again.
it's so stupid.
With Git or Subversion, you get the version.
Yeah. Why do we get version systems?
So, what else did I want to point out? Yes, here the structure of the configuration item list. Okay, you need to have a configuration item list, which contains a number of information items, which okay.
It's from PAM?
Yes.
They took it from PAM.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I have to look this up, and this is interesting to me. I think the configuration item list is an information item, so it's item. This confused me as well. Okay, it's a list with all the categories. It could look like this. The requirements are stored in Polarion, whatever, architecture in Rhapsody, implementation in Git, etc., etc. And this is what they have identified here. Storage location, okay, fine. The items need a unique identifier, a description, category like above, an owner or responsible person. Here I disagree already. Let's take the example of detailed design. Detailed design is a configuration item, so it must be part of this item list. And if you have multiple components, you have multiple detailed designs, and then it's not a single person, but it's a role. The component developer is the responsible role for this kind of configuration item.
Agree.
And then it says, okay, the current version and status of the configuration items shall be documented in the item list.
It also would be overkilling. And how do you get this status? You need to go manually and check every single source code file, or it sounds. I can imagine, all these paper documents, and you need to check.
You have to do it, but you should get help by tools. But not as part of the configuration item list. It's a dashboard where you have all your components with the detailed designs, 10 or 50 or 100, whatever, and then you have for each of the detailed design have a status, and which is a kind of dashboard which shows you the progress of the project, but not as part of the configuration item list. This is overkill, as you put it.
If you scroll up, Aaron, can we just take a look at the criteria? So it defined us also the criteria how to select a configuration item. Is it close to reality? This one, 3 mandatory configuration items, and then additional selection criteria.
Okay, let me move one step further. Assuming that the project uses AI to generate the document, and they present me this, I would ask them, what does additional selection criteria mean? When do you apply this selection criteria and when you don't apply? Additional can mean anything. Mandatory is clear, it must be checked. But what does additional selection criteria mean? We could use it. Yes, I like this one. Require formal approval process. AI really loves formal approval process. What does
vacations require formal vacations? People vacations from the team require formal approval process. Should we add them to configuration item list?
Yes. it's a selection criteria. I dropped out the additional. So yes, it's as you can see, it's tricky. Require version and tracking for traceability. What has versioning to do with traceability? As you can see, it's technically everything is there, but it gets fuzzy very fast. One more thing I would like to show you. Oh no, properties. The status model. I think there was a part where it proposed a life cycle model and the properties. No, I can't find it. Sorry. Life cycle and status model. What's the difference between a life cycle of a configuration item and the status model? As you can see here, under development, under review, approved, baseline, released, rejected, whatever, it's not rendered properly. This is the life cycle of a configuration item. So there is only one thing. Status model is, to me at least, the same as the life cycle. And again, I could start to slice this. Okay, this is clear. Submitted for review approval. Oh, this is what? Review approval. Of course, it's a chain. Okay, first it's review, and if the review is passed, then it's approved. But somehow it puts it together. Read-only modifications require review exit. Okay, what does this mean?
If you want to change something into document, you need to return it back in draft, change
Yes.
document and send again for review.
Yes, but
It's really weird. I have never seen it in real documents.
Okay. Why would you stop an exit review? Doesn't make sense. Okay. I think you get the idea. It's become, I think, 1/3. Okay, branching merging strategy. Again, technically, we discussed this earlier, it must be there. And you have the question, okay, they defined one main branch or trunk or master branch, whatever you call it, develop and feature. Here the first question is what is the difference between develop and feature branch? Most of the times it's the same. Release preparation branches make sense to me. Why are only released versions stored in the main branch? Of course, you can do it. So you have the development branch, then once the feature development is finished, then you put it into the release branch, and there you have some verifications. I'm assuming a lot here, as you can imagine. And if the verification was successful, then it's put back into the master branch. It's one concept of how to do this, but it's not clear if they follow this approach. There's another one where you have feature branches for the development. Then you have integration branches. Here you call it integration branch for ongoing development. Okay. That's a contradiction, development or integration. It's two different things to me. So feature development, then you put it into an integration branch, integrate stepwise, verify, and if the integration is successful, you put it into the master branch. And at some point of time, you take the master branch and you copy a release branch or release candidate branch. It's a completely different concept. How you get to the release branch. And then you do your verifications on the release branch, which may be more thorough than just the developer tests. You have your what's it called, product release notes, and etc. So you add some more artifacts all in the release branch or release candidate branch, and then it's forever stored. This was the release which was handed over to the customer. But I cannot read it from this. It's just...
Ron, can we stop for merge control? I noticed something interesting here. The last bullet point for merge control. To integrate, we need approval from configuration manager. Olga, have you ever done this?
Luckily, no.
Please allow me. Okay, it's a very interesting assumption.
Every merge back, what is it called? Pull must be approved by the configuration manager. Why? No. I like this code review. Actually, I would add another word, successful code review. Like here, successful automotive build and test execution. Okay, this makes sense. So it's clean code, and this can be merged back into whatever, develop or main or both. So it's a mess actually.
Yeah, and the same for commit requirements, author identification and timestamp. All modern tools, like collaboration tools, they have built-in author and timestamp. So it's really awkward.
Yes, the idea of a change request or Jira ticket as part of the commit message, and you get this for free by now. Yeah, that's correct. One more thing I would like to show you is I'm working on a chatbot as well. I think it will be named ASQMS.
Okay.
And it's based on the books I wrote. It's 3 books by now. Next week it will be 4 books, and you can ask the AI questions. Okay, what is this configuration management about? What methods can I apply? How can I get to a proper configuration management step by step? That's actionable insights and team coaching. Okay, what do I need to teach to my team? And they can look it up as well. And I think I did this. So this is the same question to another tool. It's a chapter structure. It does not contain any content, but is this the template? Yes. Okay. So this is what this comes up: definition of configuration management strategy, setup configuration management system. Again, identification of configuration management elements or items. Backup. We have not come to this. Must be considered baselining. Configuration management audits. What does this mean? What are the criteria? And what is the interface of configuration management to another process, change management or change request management, it should be. Okay, this is very fresh. I got this 2 days before. Now I will challenge it if it's confident. I would like to feel confident, and then it will be published within the next weeks.
Which AI model have you used under the hood?
I don't know, actually. This is done by Ram Kumar from India. He helped me. He got the books from me, and he came up with this user interface, which I showed you earlier. This one. And as I said, I would.
That's really great. I see team coaching. This is what we discussed on the beginning. We can try and use this tool to prepare ourselves before audit.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing. This will be definitely very helpful.
Yes. Okay. Shall we go to the Q&A session? I'm looking at the time.
Yeah, now we
Yes.
are open for discussion. So if there is anything you would like to ask, please put it in the chat or raise your hand or unmute yourself, whichever you like. Very welcome.
We have already a comment from Vesna. We differentiate status, draft, reviewed, published, and life cycle status. Concept, released for DV, released for production. DV, it means development, all of which would have status published.
Okay. Who asked this question?
It's a comment. It's not a question. Vesna. So all the documents with status published, design verification, thank you, published, they would be in life cycle. They would have different statuses from the life cycle, but status of the document itself would be published.
Okay, so can have some kind of sub-status, which is possible, yes. Or different status for different kinds of documents. For example, requirements can have a different status model or life cycle than process documents. That's possible, yes. And as you've seen, the AI said this is the one life cycle for all the artifacts, which is not feasible in many cases. That's true. So we still have to think and to come up with a proper solution for the life cycle, which is not easy.
Yeah, Rowan, what is your verdict for the AI generated in general, AI generated document? Go or not?
It was a nice try. I would, as I've seen it, it took me 5 minutes to find mistakes. So if someone wanted to fool me with a generated document, they will not succeed.
Okay, not this time.
I would say
not yet.
it's still a good idea. Why not?
Yes. Okay. I'm not saying it's the wrong way, but I was just about to say it must be tailored to the context. So it's a lot of work. Okay, you can discuss it with the AI. Okay, I want one life cycle model or two for different kinds of documents. I want DV, and then you can ask the AI to document it for you. That's possible. So it's like a discussion, and it's possible, definitely. But from scratch like this, and if you don't understand the concepts behind, you will not get to the point. Okay, this is wrong. This is needs to be tailored. This we can take as it is.
Okay. There is one more, let's say, clarification here. We mentioned AI for assessors, but it wasn't very clear how easy it would be to set it up and use.
Yes, this is a road, a very long road. We just started. As I said, there are people working on support for assessors, and we will have to pilot it, and we have to try it out, and we have to get experience and feedback, and then we improve the tools based on this. And this is actually the final message. The overall decision is still taken by humans. Just what I did with the document, based on my experience, I found out the mistakes, the inconsistencies, and this is what we still need to do as humans. AI can support, just as we discussed before, come up with the first draft and then document it for the project based on the additional input by the organization, by the people. So it's possible. However, people remain central, both in the assessment situation. They need to explain the documents. They need to be able to understand, and that's why I recommend my book on ASPICE assessments. If you want to learn about the concepts behind, then there's another book. You can ask me on LinkedIn for the link. And this is actually the chatbot. It's a prototype, so it's a kind of disclaimer. If you want to try it out, you can do so.
Great. Thank you for sharing.
Very useful. I don't see any questions, so I assume we can ramp up our webinar. I hope it was useful for everyone with some insights for the future. Yeah. So thank you very much, everyone, for coming, for joining us.
We need to announce the next webinar.
Yes.
Almost forgot. Yes, the next webinar will be in February on the 12th, and we will talk about third-party software.
Very challenging topic.
Yes. I think I did a post on LinkedIn, and you reacted, Olena, and said, yeah, we need to do a webinar about this. So we are going to do it in February.
Okay.
Yep, it would be about libraries that we are using as development teams, open source, and not only, maybe some Qt libraries, Boost libraries, everything that we include in our code. So we need to manage this part of our code as well.
I already see the first slide. What is the criteria for it? Is it third-party software or is it second party? I don't know. So how do we determine third-party software?
Yeah.
Okay. Look forward to see you there.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Have a nice evening.
Have a
Thanks,
nice
everyone.
evening.
Thank you.
Thanks all.
so much.
Bye.
Thank you.
Take
Thank you.
Nice presentation.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Bye-bye.
Was
Oh,
a
so sweet.
question?
Thank you.
That was really nice. That was
Thank
really
you very
nice.
much. Bye.
Thank you guys. Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thank
Take care.
you.
Thank
Cheers.
you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Olena. Bye.